Yeah, my name is Richard. I'm here with my classmate by name Mohammed, Rian, Toremi. We are from University of Hertfordshire, Department of Human Resource Management. We are here to discuss a model, people's management across culture, on our cultural differences between our country and UK and China. We are talking of communication and power distance. We are backing up with two theories. Edward T theory of communication and the hosting theory of power distance. In a nutshell, the two theories are the basic facts we want to use to analyze our experiment and the observation critically. On this juncture, in communication, Hall used two basic analogy to demonstrate his claim on culture: the use of coding and decoding, verbal and non-verbal means of communication. On the other hand, so call it the low content and high content. Then Hosting theory we used. Hosting uses its own high power distance and low power distance to express its own definition, talking about the people in the higher authority being recognized in the power sector than people in the lower class. So I'm here calling about my colleagues to share their views on this point because it will help us to throw more light to the society. So I call on Mohammed to share his views on and define what they understand by hosting theory.
So hi, my name is Muhammad Ismail Atif, and I'm gonna talk about differences between China and UK, particularly in terms of cultural and power distance. So power distance refers to extent to which less powerful members of organizations and institutions, like the family, accept and expect that power is distributed unequally. It plays a significant role in communication pattern, authority distribution, and society structures within a culture. So, according to Hofstede in 2010, China has a high power distance while the UK has a low power distance. The former is characterized by the centralization of power, paternalism, and pers- perceptions. The differences in power between individuals and those in authority are large. China has a power distance score of 80 and the UK has score of 35. So if you look on China has a high power distance score. In Chinese culture, society and respect for authority are deeply ingrained values. This means that in organizations, there is a significant gap between superiors and subordinates, and that authority is rarely questioned. Communication tends to be indirect, especially when conveying this decent or disagreement to maintain harmony and face. Subordinates are not expected to initiate communication with superiors or to express opinions freely unless asked. Yeah. On other hand, the UK in contrast, scores lower on power distance between British culture values more less relationships in the workplace. So there is generally a leisure gap between managers and employees, and a more horizontal organizational structure and is a common thing Communication is more direct, and subordinates are often encouraged to voice opinions and contribute to discussions. The lower power distance means that challenging authority within respectful bounds is more acceptable and can be part of healthy debates and decision making process. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll call on Riam to critically explain what you understand by host theory on communication.
Yeah. Thank you. My name is Rayan Ali Khan, and I'm going to talk about the Hall's theory on comparison between India and UK. So the definition about the Hall's theory of communication tells us the use of verbal and non-verbal. He demonstrated the high context and the low context. The high context examples are the signs, symbols, signals, body context that are used for communicating, and the low context is reading, speaking, text messages, and use of eye contact for communication. Edward Hall is an anthropologist well known for his studies on culture communications and introduced several theories that have been pivotal, including the concept of high context and the low context culture. The concept of power distance is more attributed to the Hofstede. Another influential figures in cross-culture studies, while Hall focused on the studies communication patterns. Hofstede work provides framework for understanding how power is distributed and exercised with the culture. And about the power distance, the dimension reflects how power is distributed and extent to which powerful member of institution and organization expects and accept unequally. High power distant countries have society orders in which everybody has a place that needs further justifications. In contrast, low power distribution is minimized, and subordinates more likely to question authorities. So in India is considered as a high power distance culture. This reflects the acceptance of unequal distribution of power, clearly established, seldom questioned. Respect of authorities is significant aspect of Indian workplace. The decisions are oftenly made by the senior level personnel without much consulting with low power employees. Whereas in United Kingdom, it is the character by low power distance, indicating societies that values equality and encourages questioning and challenging authorities. And the managers often seen as equal as superiors. Decisions making progress tends to be more involving employees at different levels. And the communication styles in India is generally considered high context culture, where communication is often indirect and concept of message as important message itself. Nonverbal cues and relationship between the communicator play significant role. Direct confrontation or blunt communication is valued and avoided in favor of harmony and respect. Whereas in United Kingdom, low context culture, the United Kingdom is typically seen as low context culture. The messages explicit and the emphasis on verbal communication. British communication style values clarity, messages, while politeness and formality are observed. British are more direct in their communication and compared to the high contracts culture. Understanding these differences between India and UK is crucial effective cross-cultural communication as it allows individual and organization to navigate the complexities of international interaction with greater sensitivity and effectiveness. These are the things that are difference between India and UK, stating the Hall's theory. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Liam. I want to call on Tomirin to critically give me the comparison of horse theory between Nigeria and UK.
My name is Tomirin Abidemi Akili. I'm here to explain the hall theory communication between Nigeria and United Kingdom. I should talk on the hall theory of communication from the higher and the lower context of communication. Higher context is known as non-verbal or indirect communication, very common in Nigeria, while low context communication is known as direct or verbal communication, which is common in United Kingdom. Now, I want to talk about higher context communication in Nigeria. Higher context communication in Nigeria are message that understood and heavy or non-verbal cope and share understanding among the member of the group. This means that in Nigeria, ops replying in direct communication and not indirect communication in Nigeria. All theory communication valuable insight into the complex relationship between culture communication and the society. Reading between the line and understanding of spoken sign to decode and the full meaning of the message, which refers to the message, and how to produce the sender to interpret and the decoding to receive. This process is included by factors such as social, communication, power, domestic and individual experience. That I'm talking about the higher context communication in a furthermore, Aroko in Yoruba is part of a high context communication in Nigeria. On the other hand, I want to talk about United Kingdom. Communication is very usually low context with the emphasis of the planning. Verbal communication tend to be more direct, which is emphasis on the declaration, precision and setting to the point without requiring to search on upcoding school share context. Therefore, the key difference between Nigeria and United Kingdom on degree communication size or method. Furthermore, in United Kingdom, low communication is very common because they used to lis ten when they are doing low communication. So now I can say that in United Kingdom, low communication is very common. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I'm still Richard by name. I want to critically do comparison of communication between Nigeria and no power distance communication between Nigeria and UK. I want to do communication, between Nigeria, UK, and China. Based on the experience I have and what I have read on coming to China in terms of communication, China respects personal space, while UK does not. In terms of greetings, China use coded method to greet people, and why then they can bow to greet people, while UK use handshake. Then in China, people talk to people collectively, while UK is individualist. People don't usually like to talk to people in a crowd. In UK, find people who want to call you, want to see you, you will just call you privately and talk to you. But in China, they normally call people in a group. Then in communication, China seems to be indirect in communication, while UK is direct, in the sense that China don't talk to you directly. They use coding or signs to make their communication. While in UK will put it down in maybe writing or make it explicit, clear, so that you're able to read the sign by experience. So in their theory of communication, Edward T. Hord made it clear, because the verbal and non-verbal you're using, you use it to make us to understand it in such a way that when we are going to any country of a church, be able to know how these people use to communicate in their own culture. So talking to United Kingdom believe in open and clarity of information that they communicate. While in China does it open. They make it sort of secret because of the signs they use. So I believe that communication is not ordered free, because China is the higher side while UK is the lower side. Then the power distances, because when you are using power distance to make an explanation, as we talk about power distance way of how in a community, because when you want to talk about China or Nigeria in power distance, Nigeria itself, they are in the higher side, China is the higher side, while UK too is lower side, because in China they tend to have the same similar characteristics with Nigeria, while UK has the same similarities with some countries in Western world. So if you come to schools in China, they don't actually like going to school, but in UK, British, they like going to school. The religious aspect, if you come to China, they believe in the Hindus, while in UK they believe in Christianity. So leaders of the church, they all have a upper hand for the follower. While you come to communities, the king have equal right to people in the village. They decide what to say. And so China and Nigeria has a higher upper power distances. Then in schools, teachers and the principals, they decide what to say in China, but in UK, the students have the say. They discuss what they want. Then from families, elders, brothers, elder sisters, and the parents, they have proper hand in the younger children. But in China, everybody is equal in a family. There is no difference between senior and junior. Then powers are used legitimately and subjected to criteria of good and bad evil. In UK, whereas in China, powers are in distance. Power is basic fact of society. Subordinates expected to be told what to do in China, but we are in UK, subordinates expect to be consulted. So in summary, I'm trying to summarize what you said in a nutshell, because I believe that countries have to put upgrades in doing their things, and they believe that this is what they're supposed to do at a particular time. So at this juncture, I want to conclude that we need to be so real in our communication, and in terms of power distances, we need to know how to build it. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you. Bye.